So you think you're pretty sharp, huh? Well, we're about to put that to the test. In this explainer, I'm going to walk you through a 15-question intelligence challenge. Now, don't worry, this isn't about crazy, complex math. It's all about logic, spotting patterns, and thinking just a little bit differently. Ready to see how you stack up?
Okay, so some of these questions might look simple, but they've got a clever little trick hidden inside. Others might seem really difficult at first, but trust me, there's an elegant solution. The key is just to stay focused. And hey, make sure you keep track of your score, because at the end, we're going to break down what your result really says about your problem-solving skills.
The rules are super simple. I'm going to show you a question, and you'll have about 10 seconds to figure it out. For every correct answer, just give yourself 1 point. You might want to grab a pen and paper for this. All right, no cheating. Let's do this. All right, we're kicking things off with round 1. We'll call this the warm-up. These first 5 questions are really just designed to get your brain firing on all cylinders. Let's see how you do.
First one up. Which number here is the odd one out? Go ahead, take a look.
Got it? The correct answer is C, 57. So what's the deal here? Well, this is a classic test of number properties. You see, 41, 47, and 53 are all prime numbers, meaning they can only be divided by 1 and themselves. 57 is the only one that isn't prime, because you can divide it by 3 and 19.
Question 2. What is the next letter in this sequence? Z, X, V, T, R. Think about the alphabet for a second. The answer is B, P. This kind of sequence is all about spotting a simple pattern. We're just moving backward through the alphabet, but we're skipping one letter each time. So after R, you skip Q, and you land right on P.
Okay, question 3 is a bit of practical math. An item costs 1,000 rupees. It gets a 25% discount and then another 20% off the new price. What's the final cost? The final price is B, 600. Now, the key here, and this is where a lot of people trip up, is that the discounts happen one after the other. You don't just add them up. First, 25% off 1,000 is 750. Then you take 20% off that new price of 750, which brings you down to 600. It's all about that careful, step-by-step thinking.
All right, let's test your verbal reasoning skills. Complete this analogy. Book is to library, as painting is to what? The correct answer is C, museum. See, analogies like this are great for testing how well you can identify relationships between things. The relationship here is pretty simple: an object and the place it's usually kept. You find a book in a library, you find a painting in a museum. Simple as that. And we're back to numbers for the last question in the warm-up round. What is the next number in this sequence? 3, 7, 15, 31. The next number is A, 63. The pattern here is a little more complex. The rule is you multiply the previous number by 2, and then you add 1. So 31 times 2 is 62, plus 1 gives you 63. Nicely done.
So, that was the warm-up. How are you feeling? Now we're moving on to round 2, and this is where things get a little more interesting. These next few are less about straight-up calculation and more about thinking outside the box. Okay, our first riddle. A man has 7 sons. Each of those sons has 1 sister. So how many total children does the man have? Think about this one carefully. Did you get it? The answer is B, 8. This is a classic test of your assumptions. Your brain hears each son has 1 sister, and it just wants to multiply everything. But wait, all 7 sons share the same sister, so that's 7 boys plus 1 girl, making 8 children in total. This next one is all about tracking the money. You buy an item for $800, sell it for $1,000. Then you buy it back for $1,100 and sell it again for $1,300. What's your total profit? Your total profit is A, $400. People get really tangled up here because they try to track all the money going in and out as one big long story. The easiest way to avoid that trap is to just think of it as 2 separate deals. In the first one, you made $200 profit. In the second one, you also made $200 profit. You add them together, you get $400. Okay, let's solve this little logic puzzle together. So we know Vijay is first and Suresh is last. Check. Amit is right after Vijay, which means he has to be in the second spot. That just leaves the third and fourth spots open. And since Deepak has to be standing right before Rahul, the only way that can work is if Deepak is third and Rahul is fourth. And there you have it, our answer. Deepak is in third place. Here's an age puzzle for you. Ravi is 30 years older than his son. In 5 years, he'll be twice his son's age. So what are their ages right now? Now this takes a little algebra. Or you could just do some clever trial and error. The correct answer is A. Ravi is 55 and his son is 25. Let's just check the math real quick. In 5 years, the son will be 30 and Ravi will be 60. And yep, 60 is exactly twice 30. It's the only one that fits both rules. This is a super famous logic puzzle. So first, the farmer takes the goat across the river. He returns alone, then he takes the wolf. But here is the trick, the really clever part. He brings the goat back with him to the starting side. Then he leaves the goat, takes the cabbage across, returns one last time, and finally, he brings the goat over for good. Everyone's safe. All right, take a breath. The warm-up is over. The riddles are done. Apparently, these next 5 questions, this is where most people start to stumble. So this is where things get serious. Welcome to the final round, the gauntlet. These last 5 are designed to be tricky. You really got to pay close attention to the details here. Good luck. You might need it. Okay, first question of the final round. If today is Wednesday, what day of the week will it be 100 days from now? The answer is B, Friday. Here's the simple trick for this. Just divide 100 by 7, the number of days in a week. You get 14 with a remainder of 2. So that means it's going to be 14 full weeks from now plus 2 extra days. And what's 2 days after Wednesday? It's Friday. This next sequence grows really, really fast. Find the next number. 1, 2, 6, 24, 120. What comes next? Now, this sequence might look a little intimidating, but the pattern is actually quite elegant. The answer is A, 720. To get the next number, you just multiply the previous one by an increasing number. So, 1 times 2 is 2. Then 2 times 3 is 6. Then 6 times 4 is 24, and so on. The final step is just 120 times 6, which gives you 720. It's called a factorial sequence. Take a close look at the numbers on your screen. You gotta find the missing number based on the pattern in each row. The missing number is A10. This one is a great example of looking for the simplest solution first instead of overthinking it. In each row, the first 2 numbers just add up to the third one. 3 plus 5 is 8, 7 plus 9 is 16, so it follows that 4 plus 6 is 10. Here is a classic combinatorial puzzle. You're in a room with 10 people. If everyone shakes hands with everyone else exactly 1 time, how many total handshakes happen? The total is 45. Think of it this way. The first person shakes hands with 9 other people. The second person, well, they've already shaken 1 hand, so they only make 8 new handshakes. This pattern continues all the way down. So when you add 9 plus 8 plus 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1, you get 45.
And here it is, our final question. And let me tell you, it's a famous trap. A man walks up a hill at 3 kilometers per hour and comes down the same exact path at 6 kilometers per hour. What's his average speed? Be careful now. The answer is 4 kilometers per hour. And if you said 4.5, you fell for it. You fell for the trap. You can't just average the two speeds. Because he travels the same distance both ways, you have to use something called the harmonic mean. As you can see on the slide, that formula gives you the real answer of 4.
And that's it. Whew, the challenge is over. Now, take a moment, add up all your correct answers. It's time to see what your score says about you.
Okay, let's break down the results. Just find your score on the left there to see your estimated IQ range. If you scored between 0 and 5, that's an estimated IQ of 85 or less. If you got 6 to 10 right, that puts you right in the average range, about 90 to 105. A score of 11 to 13 suggests you have some really strong thinking skills, with an IQ around 110 to 125. And hey, if you got 14 or 15 correct, wow, congratulations, that is an exceptional score, putting you at an estimated IQ of 130 or higher.
So, how'd you do? Go ahead and drop your score in the comments below and let me know which question gave you the most trouble. But no matter what you scored, remember that a test like this is just a bit of fun. It's just a snapshot. And it leaves us with a bigger question to think about. What do these clever little puzzles truly reveal about that vast, complicated, and incredible thing we call intelligence?